Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to a live show between Multiverse of Color, DC Studios Podcast, and Ben's Take here on YouTube. We're here to discuss the full official Supergirl trailer that finally dropped today. I'm one of your hosts, Annie B from DC Studios and Multiverse of Color, and I have with me my fellow MOC contributors, Ben and Kyle. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
I'm doing very good, thanks. Yeah,
I'm having a super day.
good day, exactly.
Did that joke feel good for you, Kyle?
I had a couple others, and I thought to go with the most obvious.
The most cryptic one.
I can like hear in Kyle's head right now how proud he is. He's like, yeah, I said it before anyone else said it. Never been heard before, but no, but it has been a great day. We, because March is almost over, and I rather that they didn't release this tomorrow, because April 1st is every journalist / content creator's worst nightmare. Like every year
It used to be fun though. It used to be fun.
But the problem is that the problem now with April Fools is that because every day has been a joke because the world is on fire, so like doing like April Fools is like kind of redundant. So
I mean, it is funny, like on social media, the amount of like fake stuff that comes out, and you like for a second believe it, and you're like, fuck. It's
I can only imagine what it's like, because for people who don't know, who are listening to this or watching this, Ben works for Discussing Film, which is one of the greatest outlets out there. But the problem is that there are so many people that are now just doing copycat accounts. Like there is like the
Discussing Fish.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like I have like to my buddy Jacob Fisher, who runs Discussing Film. Like, y'all need to do something about that. Like it's because like I've fallen for so many tweets these last 3 months, and I'm just like,
hey, I even fall for them as well.
Yeah, and you work for Discussing Film, so like you should have fallen for it.
I mean, it's all fun to me. Like I like those accounts, and I like April 1st. I think it's just once a year get to do some silly things. And yeah.
Right, but the problem is, like I said, the problem is because the world is on fire, like every day has been feeling like a joke. So, but we're entering the spring season, and Supergirl is on her way, and we have the first trailer. If you guys haven't seen it, it is on YouTube right now, so go check it out. Because otherwise, we're just gonna get right into it. So, I will start with Ben, because I have a lot of DC friends and a lot of DC fans, DC friends who are huge fans. But when it comes to Supergirl, I only have a handful of people who are like super enthusiastic about Supergirl. Obviously our great buddies, Rebecca and Morgan at Supergirl Radio, like they're like the goats. They're the legends of Supergirl fandom. And then there's Ben, who for you who are watching Ben's channel, like if you even though Melissa Benoist's show ended a long time ago, he still finds ways to make videos and work in Supergirl there. And now of course you're getting a Supergirl movie, so obviously you're very, very excited for Kara to be back on the big screen. So let's start with you, like overall takes of your first impressions of this trailer compared to what we had back in December last year.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I'm a big Supergirl fan, and the main reason I'm a Supergirl fan is because of the TV show, and then I read the comic, like a lot of comics afterwards. So yeah, that's why I really like that show. Like I watched it since the first episode came out and everything. So that's my connection basically. And then for this, I think the teaser was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't see it enough in cinemas, to be honest, when I was in the cinema. I only maybe saw it like 3 or 4 times maybe. So I'm looking forward to seeing this like a lot more in the movie theaters. And yeah, like this trailer for me, I enjoyed it quite a lot, and I found it interesting to kind of, as someone that's read the Woman of Tomorrow, like it's interesting the changes they're making, and it seems like Crypto is going to be like a plot device, which he is in the comics, but it's a slightly different like plot device with him, because it's like it gives us a contained amount of time to get the mission done, to go to Krem, get the antidote in this case. And I get it, like, you know, they need to make it PG-13 and stuff, but like I love in the comic, you know, how apeshit she goes, because I don't know if you guys haven't read the comic, read the comic. But
I know me and Kyle have. I think it's more so like how much do we want
like the guys watching, you know, read the comic and then you'll understand that it could very easily have gone like R-rated, but they're obviously looking at it like creatively, but also like box office wise, how can we change this so it's like intriguing, but also not like really dark, I guess. So yeah.
Well, Kyle, what were your first impressions of the trailer? You and I and several great hosts back in the time we covered the teaser, and but this was like the full on trailer. So what was your takeaways from the first go?
Well, the first thing that I'm looking forward to seeing, and we get more of it with this official trailer, like the separation between teasers and official trailers, like the water has muddied so much, but I do think that this really enhances a lot of the stuff we saw already. Particularly, it's nice just in the realm of the Superman wing of the DC universe to finally seeing something bother to tell us about what Krypton was like before Superman and Supergirl left. Like, it's such an untapped well of information. So I'm looking forward to seeing the DCU's version of that.
Yeah.
And there's some, I think, to bounce off of what Ben said, because I think this is relevant, that the way we see Krypto in this trailer really does settle in that his relationship with Kara was very new before Krypton exploded. Like, it looks like she met him during whatever proceeding that they're going on, because he is still a very young puppy when we see her somewhere else.
Yeah.
But more than anything, and I was introduced to Supergirl as the weird, not allowed to be Kryptonian version in the 90s with Superman the Animated Series, because DC Comics at that point wanted Superman to only be the last Kryptonian. We weren't allowed to have more. Thankfully, things have changed. But this story in particular is going to serve two main purposes: explaining the significance of what separates Clark and Kara, and the teaser did a really good job of that. But also, in a similar fashion to Superman, we're blowing out the world. Quite literally, actually, I should correct that. The galaxy, or the universe of DC, where this is a space journey on multiple different planets. And I really like the idea, as much as we all probably understood why John Wick killed everybody in the first John Wick film. To Ben's point, that was R-rated, and this is not going to be. There's something about the film having a definitive timer on it that is going to level up the urgency. And I was thinking about specifically when it comes to Krypto's injuries, we'll call them, if you haven't read the comic, that none of us are Kryptonian biologists, so not really ever knowing how hurt somebody can be. I mean, going back to this death of Superman, that wasn't the death of Superman. He was just in like a funny coma. But I like that this really does flesh out how this version of the story is going to be adapted. If you're not sold on Millie Alcock as Supergirl, you're just not interested in interesting characters, because the dichotomy of her and Clark is so entertaining, and that has been a through line in every version of the character. And this is not a criticism of Melissa Benoist's Supergirl. I loved that version of the character, but they were much more similar than they were different. But embracing what separates Kara from an emotional standpoint, from quite literally traumatic psychological torture she's gone through, losing all of her people, and being somebody who actually has that loss. She wasn't an infant. Looks like she was probably in her mid-teens when it happened, similar to a lot of the other origins. She's got all that stuff she's trying to compartmentalize, where Clark doesn't. And getting this on a journey where she is fulfilling the mentor role that she was supposed to have. If that's presented in this version, we don't know. But really using Woman of Tomorrow as the bones for an interesting superhero story. I'm excited. And also being a fan of the 90s Super animated series, we get more Lobo. And that's definitely going to get butts in seats. It's absolutely perfect recasting of bringing Momoa into this universe. I'm hoping we get to hear all of his not swear words in the film, like Bass Stitch and everything, because that'll be really fun. And a character that was supposed to be in the comic. And I like how we're not just doing page for page adaptations, which is nice because even though I've read the comic, I don't want to know everything. That doesn't make for an exciting film going experience. But if you're selling Supergirl, like when we talked about Lanterns, which is, yes, people wanted green, and jokingly, I had a lot of green lights behind me for that recording. But this trailer and the teaser, they're selling Supergirl, and I think they're doing a really good job of that.
Yeah, I think they sort of, just before you say your opinion, Andy, just on your point, I did notice that in the trailer that it's Millie Alcock playing her on Krypton. Obviously, we saw that in the teaser. And she looks like a similar age, you know. I don't think they've done much makeup-wise or anything. Like, obviously, she looks young anyway. But it's interesting to look back at, like, let's say the Supergirl TV show, because you always had another actor who was much younger playing that version of Kara. So it seems like, yeah, that trauma is much more fresh for her. And that's why you have what you have at the start of the trailer, where she's basically saying, yeah, I don't have people. My people are literally dead, basically, and Crypto's all I got. And plus Superman, but also I don't know, it doesn't seem like she has like a perfect connection yet with Superman. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, to both of your guys' point is that, you know, I have loved Supergirl since, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I always, you know, like, I knew Supergirl was, but I didn't actually, like, you know, find her, like, cool or whatever, like, until I saw her on Smallville. Like, I liked her in the animated show, that was fun. Supergirl movie is, you know, I mean, I love Helen Slater, but, like, that movie is weird. But, you know, like, I've always known that, like, that Supergirl is more than just the cousin of Superman. Like, you know, she is very much her own character. She can stand on her own feet, and she has her own great mythology when allowed to. So, you know, and obviously Melissa Benoist is one of the greatest things one of the greatest performers to have ever brought Kara to life, obviously. And now seeing her back on the big screen, with this, like, you know,
Supergirl.
I know, but the Flash was, you know, trash.
Yeah, she was great.
She was great. She was great, but again, like to Rebecca Morgan on Supergirl, like, they really just used Kara as a plot device in that film. Like, they killed her over and 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 over. And sorry, you know, I became like a hiccup, just like the movie, and over again. And I just, you know, like, that's not Sasha's fault. That is the studio's fault and the writing's fault and the directing's fault. But with this, like, the fact that you are leaning so much into, like, you know, this is a very different Supergirl, and you know, with the teaser, like, you know, the teaser did the job that it was supposed to make, but with this, like, I felt we really got a larger sense of the story, and to Kyle's point, like, if people aren't behind the idea of Millie as Supergirl at this point, like, then, like, fuck you in that case. Like, I'm just gonna say that, like, because, you know, because she just in these, like, we've seen like 5 minutes now at this point of her in this film, and she's freaking great. Like, I really love that she, you know, again, like, we're in this.
I don't know if we can say she's great yet.
I think she's great. I think
she looks the part.
Yeah, she looked, but looking the part that's easy. Like,
you have to be blonde.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, true.
There you go. But like, inhabiting that role is a different challenge. And the fact that she's already capturing my interest of, like, oh, I don't want to just know what's going to happen in this film. I want to know plans they have for her beyond this movie. Like that just shows me, that at least proves to me that these studios are already capturing my interest for what Supergirl can be in the DCU, because we've never seen her as a because she's the second film hero we're getting, and we've had Superman and now we're going right into Supergirl. So like the fact is that I feel like we're gonna have a long future with Supergirl in the DCU, and seeing this trailer, I'm just kind of, yeah, this doesn't feel like just, oh, this is James Gunn's Superman movie, but for Kara. Like this feels like her own thing, with her own director's vision, and obviously when you have a great comic like Woman of Tomorrow, like sky's the limit basically. Like it's. And I know there's been some reports about like like, oh, the budget is this much and this, but I'm like, if the movie was if the budget is only $100 million, they did a lot of great shit with that budget, because like
Is it?
I'm like
Is
this.
it only?
Hmm?
Is it only 100 million?
So if it's true, that's what the budget is. But again, like it doesn't look cheap. It looks like a space adventure, and like it's just the cinematography, like because we visit a lot more of the largest galaxy and space of the DCU. Like apparently we're gonna get something like 9 different planets in this film with like different languages and cultures and whatnot, and I'm like, that is a lot to look forward to, because like I mean, we're comic book fans. We know there's lots of worlds out there that they can pull from. I know maybe O is one of them. Maybe that's why.
I was gonna say this is the thing that I've been sitting with, because I know I'm interrupting you, Andy, but this absolutely.
No, that's fine. Because I beat you to it, so it's fine. Like it doesn't matter if you interrupt me.
No, but it's been, you and I have discussed this, and I think we discussed it in Lanterns, and I jokingly was like, what if Chip had a cameo in Supergirl, which is why they pushed it. But I would not be surprised at all, given what we know from what we've seen now with Hal Jordan and Superman, if there's going to be any symmetry whatsoever, gave us Guy Gardner. Would it be shocking if we've seen the one bar? There's no way there's just one bar, right? Kara's on whatever bender she's going on for her 21st birthday.
Yeah, she's going to be at multiple for sure.
What are the chances she bumps into Hal? And that's why they moved like that. There's way more legitimate possibility that happens than obviously a chipmunk or a squirrel Green Lantern, because it would make sense. Even though I understand some of the criticism towards Superman, it did give us an established universe with other characters. It wouldn't be surprising if there's some other character, maybe one we haven't seen yet at all, even in trailers, that helps move the ball forward. Because at the end of the day, so far, we're 2 films into the Superman saga, and if DCU is going to be successful, we need to start building to other parts of the universe. Because we've got one pole that's supposed to put up this tent that is the Trinity, right? We have Clayface with Batman. We got nothing with Wonder Woman. So far, we've only got Superman stuff.
I mean, listen. I mean, given how long it's been since we had a Superman movie, like I wouldn't say only Superman at this point. Like, I'm just glad we're getting any of it, and the fact that we're only a year away from Man of Tomorrow. So the fact that we're not even having to wait, like, I mean, like, the usual standard time we have to wait for some of these superhero movies is, or like superheroes specifically back on the big screen, which is like 3 or 4 years sometimes. So, but yeah, like let's just get into the trailer more and more in depth and so on. Like, I kind of want to. I want to start with, obviously, like one of the big centerpieces is obviously Krypton, and we're seeing a lot more of the culture. We're seeing a very prominent moment, which is the funeral of someone. I don't want to spoil too much, people who haven't been following the stuff, but we see things like what this world's Krypton looked like. We see what Kara's life was back on Krypton, like with baby. Oh my god, like this movie is gonna break me when it comes to Krypton. Like every freaking time I see him, like I melt. Like,
does anyone just see James Gunn's dog now?
Yeah.
No.
True.
No, I don't see it. I don't see him. But I mean, I know that's the inspiration. But like, Ultra's a very cute dog.
Is Brainiac in the movie? What do we think? Is it like it has to be, right?
I mean, if he is, I
Post-credit
doubt.
scene.
What?
He could be in the post-credit scene.
It could be a post-credit because at that point, because the film, when they were making the film, they hadn't cast Lars. Yeah, as Brainiac. So like he would have to film something between when he was cast until
They
June.
do that all the time.
What if it's
Yeah.
just his awesome like face spaceship? Like it
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
have to be Lars.
Exactly.
It could be
doesn't
that,
have to
yeah.
Be like a full showcase of him, I guess.
Like I would say, like if he's in the film, like I just don't expect to see him. And honestly, I kind of also don't want to see him, to be honest. Like it's because I want this to be like as close to Woman of Tomorrow as possible. And I don't really want, but I also specifically I don't really want this to be just like an interlude for Man of Tomorrow. Like no, because that's not what this is. But what do we think about the fact that like because again, Krypton left us with a lot of answers, questions at the end of Superman because of what Jor-El and Laura obviously revealed. So Ben seeing kind of more like again we're getting a taste of the fact that this is this Krypton isn't as black and white as obviously some people who watch Superman think it is. So what did you think about like some of the teases we got of Kara's home life back on Krypton?
Yeah, I'm very interested in it. Obviously, some of you guys might have watched Krypton. That was a very interesting TV show, getting some insight into that. Yeah, I think. I mean, I haven't looked into like all the details. I don't know who the guy is whose funeral it is. Like I try and not get spoiled as much as I can these days. But yeah, like. I think everything looks cool. Yeah, I'm interested to see this different, older type version of Kara on Krypton and how it affects her going forwards. Also, I don't know, how did maybe seeing Kal-El when he was a little baby going, like, are they going to go off, at the same time? And does Kara go to like the Phantom Zone or some shit like she does in the TV show? Yeah, I'm just very interested to see like all of this, and I don't know how much Krypton we're gonna get, but I'm here for it. Depending on like, I really don't mind if it's a lot or not much at all, to be honest. So
It's got to be the prologue, right? Like it would make
yeah,
no
I
other
feel
sense.
like it's the setup, right?
Right? Like we had in Superman, we had like it sets the tone for everything, right? And then we'll get like an end game 5 years later or whatever, right? And she's like the constructs of the film are clearly presented here. What I'm really curious about is, are we going to get it if it is just a solid chunk that's interesting, or narratively are we sort of going to get questions answered through Kara's journey, specifically, of course, with her and Crypto? Because that's, again, the meat of the film is that relationship and what promotes, or the motive for why she does what she does.
What?
I don't. No, I mean, it is. I don't.
I'm old.
I'm old too. So Ben, you translate for us.
He's saying Crypto's ugly.
I mean, I don't think it's totally wrong. Like, he's supposed to be odd. I don't think he's supposed to be like
cute. He's cute. He's
also a bad dog.
This is an ugly dog. Y'all are fucking monsters.
I can't believe you just said.
Well, here's the thing. Because Ben is a cat person, obviously. So you don't cow. Kyle, you're just dumb. Like what do you mean? Like he's ugly? Like
I didn't say he's ugly. Again, I'm a millennial, so I don't use that terminology. Like he's not supposed to be. Like I'm looking at the one of the two of them in the console when Kara's driving. He's just kind of like, he's got character. I don't know. I'm neither cat nor dog person. I'm indifferent to pets, quite frankly. But again, similar to John Wick, this relationship has to be sold. And I like the fact that from what we saw in Supergirl, I would say Kara's dynamic with Crypto is not one of like, I wouldn't classify Kara as a good dog owner, because look at what Crypto did to the Fortress of Solitude. People are going to hate me for this. That's a bad dog. Like what he does to Clark's Sanctum,
true. It's
not
true.
okay.
It's just a bunch of alien eyes. Like it'll be fine. Like why?
Wow.
Why we? Yeah. It like.
This is entitled dog syndrome, Andy. That's what you have.
Exactly.
Allison, I agree. Like I'm a
Hey,
kitten
James
myself.
Gunn himself said that he's a bad dog. So
Yeah.
Ben,
We didn't talk about the
Reed,
Superman
Reed.
FaceTime.
we will talk. We will get to it. She said if they call a dog ugly one more time, we didn't say exactly.
Is this
There are
dog
no
ugly
bad
or famous?
famous?
we said that dog is chopped.
No bad dog, just bad owners.
I agree, but this is
Good,
exactly the point. Like this relationship.
Supergirl's not a great dog owner.
She's not a good dog owner. That's what I said. So that he
Right.
performs
Yeah,
badly because he's not been trained properly. In the teaser, he's just pissing all over the trailer.
True. That's
Quite
He has to-
literally
he
on
has to-
Clark's newspaper face.
He's gotta pay. He has gotta pee at some point. He did most on the paper. So like, let's just be freaking happy.
Or go outside. Because we know they're parked. Like, okay, so did we know going to earlier onto the trailer? I don't, maybe I totally missed it. That spaceship we see land is like Kara's
Des.
Winnebago. Yeah, that's her ship. We see it even earlier.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, this was just a screenshot that I had up
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
So, where was I going with this?
Ben
No,
just
I
bent
I like-
himself. The dog is chopped.
God forbid. No, what I'm gonna say is that like the fact that I think that when it comes to the whole Krypton aspect, I think it's something we're gonna build towards throughout several projects because I don't just want a quick.
The next DCU film is Man of Tomorrow.
I know,
That-
but hold on.
right?
If both of you just waited and not interrupt me, I would make my point. Just exactly, yeah. Shame on both of you. What I'm saying is that I don't want it to just be, let's just wrap this up within like a 2-3 projects. Like again, given how this DCU has been established, in this world, these heroes have been operating and been active for X amount of years that there's been, and I rather that way that we kind of take our time because there's so much you can do with like I mean for people who may have read DC Rebirth, you might know that they've done a lot of crazy stuff with Jor-El over the years where like he's not necessarily dead but not necessarily alive either. So I like the fact that we're really seeing nuances with this. That we get a first look at Zor-El, and
You mean Bernard the elf?
what?
Are you joking?
What do you mean,
From the
Bernard?
From the Santa Claus.
I don't really
What?
watch a lot of I don't watch a lot of Christmas
With Tim
movies.
Allen? Seriously?
That's been a long time,
David
but
Krumholtz.
I know
Cool.
David Krumholtz, but
not for
Wow.
that.
Oh my goodness.
But also, but
Numbers?
also,
What are we doing?
Kyle, Ben is like 2 years old. Like what? Like he's barely lived life yet. So
Yeah, but you don't know it either.
Andy,
People in the
I
comments.
thought you were supposed to
Bernard.
be wise. Come on, why don't you know this? If you call me two, I don't have an excuse. I don't need an excuse. What's your excuse? Come on.
I'm old. I don't have to remember stuff anymore.
No,
the point,
so here's the thing about that, Andy. The comics have all the time in the world, but to me, ultimately, this goes back to my hesitancy to get excited about the universe as a whole. Don't get me wrong. Loved Superman, loved Creature Commandos. We spent many hours discussing Peacemaker Season 2. But it's nice that we have this Kryptonian wing within the DCU. But quite frankly, we're getting a Supergirl story, and I think the three of us would all wholeheartedly agree. Needs to be her story.
yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, because people have made those comparisons, I'm not saying these movies are going to be the same, had Thanos in it. And so the likelihood, as we already know, that Brainiac is going to be the threat in Man of Tomorrow, I would be okay with, because I don't remember, somebody maybe in the comments would remember, or either of you, because it just escapes me currently, how long they plan on making the Superman saga go. But at some point, we need to pivot to, if we are doing movies where these people are supposed to meet, when not everyone is wearing red, yellow, and blue, Like, I don't like. Are we doing Zod? Like, yes, you could continue to do Kryptonian threats or Superman threats, but that's also in a world where you have not any of the use of the other people. Like, this isn't Sony's Spider-Man 2 times where they couldn't use anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to build to a threat facing Earth that it's not just 2 Kryptonians that have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm okay if after Man of Tomorrow, sorry, Ben, that we move on to someone else. Like, you can use Mongol if you really want, or, I mean, Darkseid. We know we're getting something from the New Earth and Apocalypse from Tom King with Mr. Miracle. But, like, I don't know. Quite frankly, I'm excited for those projects because of the bones of what Superman was and what we're building up to. But eventually we need to start. We're working right now on one room in the house when we need to focus on all the other ones to have a cohesive feng shui.
Well, we will again. I think that I agree with you definitely that I want that this is Cars movie and this needs to be Cars movie. Like again, I don't need setups or teasers or like for other projects. Like I mean, if something like a little like Wing to Lanterns with Hal Jordan just being somewhere in space, like that's cool. That's funny because like someone like Hal Jordan who's been a Green Lantern for a long time, he would be somewhere in space.
But somebody is actively destroying Krypton, so they're going to have to show us who that is, or at least tease who it is. Like, this is not
I
a
think
bunch of
teasing is all I
bureaucracy
want.
where
I want it to be
we've
a
mined
tease.
all the planets. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a ship ambiguously looks like a skull face of a dude with 3 dots on his head. Like, I don't need it to be, and here's 5 minutes of Brainiac, but it would make sense if this is allegedly a saga. Like, I mean, ironically, I saw a couple of comments on Twitter about that we were going to do this, and some of them were Snyder fans. Man of Steel to Batman versus Superman to Justice League, there are bones that connect that as a trilogy. They are different movies, but they clearly address one after the other, where there are similarities to at least what we're doing here. Supergirl didn't just show up in this movie and they go, hey, look, it's Supergirl. They gave us a 5-minute sequence that wasn't a post-credit scene in Superman. Like, you didn't have to wait for that. It quite literally ended the movie. Right? So do you build with that, as we've talked about, that threat that clearly it's an active person or them? You know what I mean? It's something or someone is destroying or capturing. I know it's Kandor in the comics. Kara is from Argo. I don't care which city happens to get bottled up. That doesn't matter to me. But somebody is choosing to do that. It could not be Brainiac, like, to your point. It could be Mongol, Darkseid. Hell, it could be Mrs. Spitlick. But, like, it's going to be something that if it's not at least connected to something later, then I don't understand the point of doing it.
Okay. Well, going back to Supergirl, first a shout out to its news flag for this, the 199 Super.
Zero
Boldface team.
What we doing? He's the number 1 fan, and he is the best DC character. I think we should be making a whole film or like a TV show centered around Boldface. I think everyone.
That was satisfying. Anyway, what I was gonna say was, when it comes to Supergirl, let's just focus, okay? Like, let's focus on the trailer.
The planet being destroyed is in the trailer.
but Kyle, your artistic eye decided to go, oh my god, let me talk about this whole saga. And I'm like, it's the second movie, bro. Like, calm down. We're just getting started.
3 movies make trilogies. That's 66.66%.
True.
Okay.
I mean, we should be building, right? So
yes.
It is important. And the thing is, like, for me right now, we've got Superman, we've got Supergirl, we've got Clayface, then we have Man of Tomorrow, and then what's coming after that? Film-wise?
We don't know.
Technically,
exactly.
But if you're talking about DCU stuff, we don't know what the next DCU film will be.
I feel like they need to come in with like a different area of DC. Lanterns is sick for the TV show, that's a different area. I love that. But we need like a Batman film next or something, or Wonder Woman, or something different from Superman and Supergirl, I think.
So going
That's
back
why
to
I'm
Supergirl,
excited for Clayface though.
I don't. Okay.
if
The Krem design doesn't work for me. The more we saw of it, I don't like it. I really don't.
but I want to tie something
I
into Ben's point, because one of the there's actually a little bit of a connection between Supergirl and Clayface is that they have the cinematographer, and oh my god, if this is the kind of stuff that he is pulling in freaking Supergirl, then I cannot wait to see what the hell he's doing with Clayface. Like, that will be his Gotham City that I'm excited to see. So, but one of the key takeaways that we get, because again, we got a little preview to her in the teaser, but we get a lot more of Rufy's really, really tragic backstory and why she comes to Supergirl. And like, I've never seen Eve Ridley, I think that's her name, in anything before, but like, I have a feeling like she's gonna be like stealing some scenes in this film. Like,
English, right? Is she English?
Yeah.
Pick her up.
Yeah, so like I'm excited to see the dynamic between her and Kara. And like, there's a lot of great moments in the trailer where, like, Kara is very much like, I don't really want to be a superhero. I don't really want to do this crap.
She's not really a superhero. Like, outside of the costume, personality-wise, like, we've only seen her in continuity maybe show up iconography as a hero in the rebooted beginning or ending of Peacemaker season 1, right? Like, quite literally, we've not seen her save anybody. She just shows up at the end of that, right? And then she's drunk in Superman.
Yeah, she's not a
she's
hero.
Like the Hancock of the DC universe.
It's like she has to learn. This is like a journey for her, and I think after the film or at the end, or what she does in the future, is going to be determined by like what she does in this film. Is she going to kill Krem? Is she going to hold back? Like what's she going to do?
Well, there's a point in the movie, in the trailer, when she says, like, revenge, it's not going to solve things. And because I know there's been a lot of commentary online about the fact that, there's been, I think Millie, or it was Craig, who had said that she sees herself very much as an anti-hero, and people, of course, because it's Twitter, people always have reactions. But like, no, I think this is more so that this is someone who generally is a good person, but she is traumatized, and she's like any of us, she's lost, and she's trying to find herself again after everything she's gone through. That's why she's drinking, jumping around planets, and I think what won me a lot with this trailer is the fact that, because again, I get it, like, from a marketing standpoint, I get it. It's fun showing a Kryptonian drunk and like being a party person, because we don't really see that very often with Clark or whatever. But I'm glad there are layers finally being shown that she when she's not out partying and just traveling space, this is someone who, like, she's a good person deep inside, and she cares for people, and like, even if she's reluctant to kind of like show that side, it's still coming. This is why she's Supergirl, like, because at the end of the day, her care for others will always shine through, and that's what I really appreciate, the fact that I saw like some ridiculous comment, like people going like 3 minutes for a trailer is crazy. I'm like, no, this was perfect. The fact that it was longer and that we got a lot more meat to it. So for you, Ben, what were some of your takeaways of the fact that we're now seeing very different sides of Supergirl, and not just the one angle that we've seen so far since the Superman movie when she showed up, and then of course the first teaser last year?
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing. I think on your point about the anti-hero stuff, like I don't have a problem with it, but also like I understand what they're saying. I don't think they literally mean anti-hero. I think they mean like, she just doesn't care enough right now. There's so much she's going through that it's like, she doesn't feel like being a hero, because she doesn't have that connection to Earth yet, because her world has been destroyed. She's arrived, and we don't know how long ago that was for her. Like, it might be very fresh in her memory if she's only just arrived and she's been in the Phantom Zone. So yeah, I mean, I'm very interested in everything that's going on. I think the film looks really good, to be honest, and yeah, I don't know. like exact. I just everything we've said so far. I feel like it's just getting me more and more excited, to be honest.
Well, and to connect it to Superman, and the only things we've learned so far from that society is, Jor-El and Lara, not great people. So if the actual mission statement was, hey, go to Earth, have a lot of sex, and make some more half Kryptonians, we don't know if maybe Kara, being an adult from that, or young adult from that planet, was like, hey, I'm not interested in that. So, because from at least our understanding of Superman is that he's a hero because of the Kents, right? Like the idea that he got from the broken message ultimately doesn't define who he is as a person. And that's part of the exploration of that film is Clark is a hero because of who he is, not something he was told. And if Kara probably would have had the whole message. Now, again, I'm hoping David Krumholtz didn't give this a similar message that Bradley Cooper gave to Clark, but is this why she's choosing to do her own thing? Because Kryptonians are not the people we thought they were. I don't know. Like, are we going to explore that as well, right? Because that would help define who Kara is as her own self, apart from just being Kal-El's cousin.
I want to bring up this comment from Fade Agent. But well, thank you for being here first of all. Retro style small telly where Clark's speech shown is pretty cool. Yeah, that was one of the things that was like, obviously, because obviously, we've known this now for a while that David Corenswet will be back as Superman in this movie. Obviously, in like a cameo, capacity, and we see, and this is where we kind of get a good idea of really just how different Clark and Kara are, because to her, when she said, like, but I have no people, he's reaching out to her because he's worried about, like, when are you going to come back? I really want you to find your people, your place. But the thing is, like, he hasn't been through that trauma that she has. That's not to neglect what he has obviously been through on Earth. There's, trauma is trauma. Like, that's not to dismiss that at all. But the fact is that Kara had literally had to watch her world end in front of her, and as she said in the first teaser, that Krypton did not end in just one day. The gods were not that merciful,
Kind.
We're not that kind, and so that's what I love, the fact that we're in the space adventure. Again, I like the fact it's very retro. Like, again, I don't want it to be just all advanced, alien technology everywhere we go, because like I like, for someone who like grew up in the 90s with with fat TVs and like fat screens and radios or whatever and so on, like, or like Ben, get ready, but cassette tapes before.
I'm assuming Ben has seen Guardians. He knows what a cassette tape is.
He doesn't really like Marvel movies, so like I don't know if he
actually... I have, of course. And Andy, I had all of that when I was young too.
Yeah, but like,
you're so special, you 90s kids.
Right.
Did anyone else think though when Clark showed up, what a dork? Like, you see Kara just getting drunk and going to parties, and then Clark's like, "Hey, Kara, are you coming home?" But this is a compliment. Like, David Corenswet's version of the character just is a natural portrayal of that big blue Boy Scout. So like the dichotomy is fantastic. It's great. I love that exists because it shows us how these characters are so different from each other.
Exactly.
Like, are you coming home? Like, your curfew's happened. Come be a hero.
Why aren't you here?
Yeah.
I mean, it is still cute because the fact that we've never had a cinematic Superman and Supergirl at the same time. Like, every time we've had them, like, they've never, like, with Christopher Reeve and Hellsley, they never got to meet, except crappy CGI in The Flash.
What about in the Arrowverse?
I said in film and the big screen. I never said TV. Like y'all are correcting me and interrupting me when you really all shouldn't. Like, there's no cause for it yet. So shame on both of you. What I'm saying though is the fact that they're leaning so much into the super cousins dynamic, or honestly, the other day I almost said siblings. Like, they feel more like siblings than just cousins. So, but canon is canon. I will respect that. But again, it's cute seeing that he is worried, because one of the things I remember at the end of Superman was, I don't want to say nonchalant, but kind of like almost like he seemed bugged by the fact that she was kind of like in and out. Like this is now I'm kind of glad if I did. Okay, no, now like he's coming to his senses and realizing, yeah, you know what, like I'm actually worried about her. So, and I know that there's at least supposed to be one scene where they're gonna where Kara will be speaking Kryptonian to him. So I look forward, so we know that this is not his only scene in the
They're
film.
doing Duolingo.
Yeah.
What would the DC equivalent of Duolingo be?
It'll be Brainiac.
Could be.
Like if they go the DCAU route, which is he is the computer AI built on Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Which is kind of what I'm hoping for.
I don't know so much of this. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be the case that the message.
No, people just want the L's to be good people. What this shows me is the people who don't like the message.
Let me just read the comment for our audio listeners, because they can't see this. So yeah. Wait your turn, sir. I bet them. Well, you have to. I bet the message heard by Kal-El's parents was manipulated by Brainiac. I hope Man of Tomorrow filming goes well. 1.4 first man flight close to moon in decades. What does that have to do? Okay, never mind. I think that because we have to realize that the House of L has never been just goody two shoes.
Nobody watched Smallville. Jor-El's not a good dude.
Jor-El is like the biggest dick in the the first 5-6 seasons that he's in. He doesn't really get good until like season 9, and that's like putting it delicately.
In the Batman Telltale games, they make the Waynes not good people. Like I get I like looking at them idealistically, but I don't care what their parents are like because it defines who the people are. Making Jor-El and Lara not good people is one of the most interesting choices of that film.
Yeah,
because
it allows it allows Kara's parents to then be the opposites and kind of show that there was potentially and possibly show us that maybe in the House of L there was a like kind of like a civil war going on because of their ideology.
That is always a part of the canon, right? Like in versions, the civil war is led by Zod. Is there an instance where because him and
I agree with Nathan Bell. You guys should read the Absolute Superman comic. You will see Krypton very differently. Absolute Superman is great. So yeah, and also good to see Nathan. I forgot to say hi to you before.
Also, you missed a super chat, by the way.
I did. Okay, hold on. I shall bring it up. Christ.
Bring it up.
Thank you for the 199 super chat. It's newsflash. Ammy Whammy Space Adventure with Goldface.
Please, we'll make it happen, Flash Rose. Yeah.
No, you all can make it happen. Like the Flash podcast will not be participating.
James Gunn will do it.
The Flash podcast will not be covering.
Amunet Black X Goldface.
Let's talk about another huge takeaway from this trailer is that Jason Momoa is like one of the best castings I've seen in my entire lifetime. Like this, listen, I loved him as Aquaman. But this is such a perfect fit. And like we hear him speak, we see him on his bike, we see him clashing with Supergirl, we see him teaming up with Supergirl. And I mean, this dude, we could be seeing him as a Lobo for the next like 10 to 15 years for all we know, because he is just...
don't jinx it.
I'm not going to jinx it. Don't worry.
There could be a paramount of problems.
I hate you so much.
Good night, everybody.
But like, guys, like, how excited? I mean,
it's perfect. It was the thing that, like, there are. I mean, it's very fascinating, and this sort of connects with the vague part of the conversation, specifically that Ben and I have had because it's more interesting. Sorry, Andy, about like what else we get from the DC universe. Like, I know we all see it. Who's going to be Batman? Who could be Wonder Woman? And there is a lot of conversation to be had as to who fits the roles best, depending on what hopefully Drew Goddard wants to do with it, and not another creative. But that's just my personal opinion. But what they're going to get from the DCU's version of those other characters.
Yeah.
Unless you have never seen anything with him, which would be hard given the success of Game of Thrones, and Aquaman did make a lot of money, the first one at least. Mm-hmm. Who would you cast as Lobo? Oh, I don't know, the guy who just is Lobo and happens to be Polynesian. Like, and no, you could have been day one as a casting director, and they're like, all right, we're thinking of doing Lobo. Who do we cast? Jason Momoa. Like, there's no thought. It's like answering on a true, or not a true or false, a multiple choice. See, like it's done, it's over, you move on. It's wildly entertaining. And with all this sort of spin-offs of the main films, no, it will continue until he makes a good movie that's not in the It universe. But
I have to make it. Wait, why do I have to make a movie?
No, and
which I'm assuming they're talking about Muschietti. That's my guess.
She's talking about me. You.
Oh, it's well, I don't know. There's too many
I'm the one.
We'll take it as Andy Muschietti.
I took it as Andy. Yeah. But
okay.
I think it's awesome. Like, would you be surprised if we get like a 6-episode HBO Max series where it's just him doing different bounties? Like, remember when Mandalorian was interesting? Mm-hmm. Like, that would be cool. I would watch that.
Yeah,
it would be awesome. More Jason Momoa. Like I couldn't even tell you the reason. I rewatched Fast and Furious X last week, and he's just Fast and Furious's Joker in that movie. He's perfect on screen. His charisma, it's infectious. So him playing Lobo, who is famously just a wild character, it's a perfect person. And I'm glad we actually, for our friends who work in entertainment journalism, they get to use actual screenshots and don't have to brighten the bejesus out of the 2 frames he was in the first teaser.
Honestly,
do y'all know how long it took me? Like, because I'm one of those entertainment journalists who have to deal with that, and that was a long afternoon, because I'm like, this, because we obviously don't want blurry pictures, but like, we only have the one shot. So it's more so like, who on Twitter could find the best shot, and then who could and what could we use them to then brighten it up? So the fact that we got so much of Lobo in this, but again, it doesn't feel like he's overshadowing Supergirl's movie. Again, like, this would be a good. Again, like he's probably only in it for like a few scenes. Like, he didn't film for that long. Like, because I feel like even like when he showed the script, like when he had gotten the script, like it was like a few pages. Like, he's probably just in it for just, I would probably say like somewhere in the beginning, in the middle, and the end.
10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, and that goes back to Carl's point about the rest of the universe. It's teasing Lobo, right? It's like, we're going to see him. He's not going to overshadow Supergirl. We're going to be introduced to a cool character, and we're probably going to see that character again, whether he's got his own project or if he's in like other projects. I think that's exciting for sure.
I mean, I would kill for an HBO space drama of him just flying around, just doing different bounties. Also, like, Jason Momoa, like, I mean, yeah, like, I would, like, because
and make it R-rated too.
Make it R-rated. Sunday night on HBO. That would be killer. I have one criticism with this trailer. Like, again, like, I don't really have any issues with it, but it's more so,
I wanted a licensed song. Call on Me was so perfect in the teaser.
Mm.
Like, I was thinking like Blue Monday or something. I don't know.
I don't have, for
what
some
was
reason,
the song they included in the trailer?
This is it's some how you become heartbroken or brokenhearted.
Oh, it's like I have that fucking song on my playlist. It's like what becomes of a broken.
Yeah. Again, it's such a perfect song for her. Awesome. What's not perfect though is I'm trying. Okay, like, again, I'm sure in the movie he's going to be an interesting character. Again, I mean, there's, he kills Ruby's family and he's the villain. Like, there's not much more to it than that. But I just have a lot of questions about this visual change. Like, Because in the comics, like he is, he's just a redhead, like he looks normal. Again, like
He's
and again,
now.
I get that they're trying to go with the whole idea of that. Well, this is different alien cultures. They have different styles, which I'm like I totally fine with it. But this just kind of just looks one step too goofy. How are we feeling about Krem?
I don't like it. It's one of those instances where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason, where they're like, well, we can't just have him be a bearded evil ginger guy. But it's just, but we could, and it would have been like people have shared his casting announcement, and you're like, like
that
again,
makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
I see it, and it does take away from the subtlety of what makes him scary. Like, I mean, the irony is just thinking about like other characters where the scary thing is who they happen to be. Like, I know it's been trending, I want to say within the last couple weeks. And this was a thought even when it came out before Ben was born. But when the first Spider-Man was made, and you're like, well, you didn't need a mask on Willem Dafoe. You could have just had Willem Dafoe's face. And one of the lessons that they learned for No Way Home was there's no mask on Willem Dafoe for most of the movie. Where you had a guy who was ginger and had a beard. Done, stamp, moving on. But somebody's like, but what if he was scary looking? Like, but what if what he did was scary?
Yeah.
And not everything about him that removes any subtlety whatsoever.
Killing someone's entire family, that's scary in itself. But
like, you don't let that guy into your house.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. It also because again, it also gives you kind of the idea of like, oh, so this is gonna sound terrible to say, but like it's gonna make Rufy's parents look like dumbasses. Of like, I mean, again, don't judge by a book by its cover, because like we all can look different and we can all be different people from what we actually look like. But the fact is that if you see a dude looking like that, who is armed,
hesitant.
who is armed, by the way, probably not the best idea. To let him in, but again, like I said,
wait, why do we know that they let him in? Was that shown in the trailer?
He's in the house. We see him in the house.
Yeah.
But he could have broken in, right?
Yeah.
Well, it could be that, but either way, it's like it's not just so much.
I wouldn't let that dude.
That's not just the only issue that comes with his looks. It's also the fact that they're having to change him to look like that to sell the idea that he is scary. No, it's what he does that should be scary. Like, that's the thing. But
does
we will
anything change about him? Like, think about the shots. Like, we see him in the house standing there. The expression on Ruthie's dad should sell to you, oh, something is amiss here. And then he kills his dad and still looks into camera. It is more terrifying that he's just a normal looking dude. Like, I'm like thinking of a horror icon. Like, a lot of them, they have to have visually be unappealing. But like, what makes real human murderers terrifying is they just look like people. Like him leaning into camera with just a deranged look on his face. More upsetting when it's just a dude.
Yeah.
Well, like, I will use a different DC example. So when we saw Barry Keoghan as a Joker in the Batman, for most of the time, it's very, very blurry. Like we don't really see it. We build up to it, and then we see the monstrosity that is his face.
They took the makeup from Gotham,
which was great because I love Joker on Gotham. So, and I do not have the bandwidth to fight with you on this, Kyle, if that's what you were trying to insinuate. So,
no, I quite literally, like the aesthetics are similar. Like it's like Death of the Family.
Barry's Joker is like deformed.
Yeah.
Jerome made himself deformed.
No, I know, but there's the Scott Snyder run where he takes off his own face and wears his own face in the New 52.
Yeah, and like, see, Nathan brings up a great point in the comment. Like having Michael Myers going around killing people, he's just a regular guy doing these horrible things. That's why I feel like with Krem, it's almost like, hey guys, like I don't know if you're catching this, but like he's supposed to be bad. Let us really, really hammer it into your head that this is supposed to be a bad person. So again, when we see the film, he could be great in execution. But when you only have a couple minutes to work with for marketing, that's the tricky part. And Kyle, I see your message. Don't worry. But I would say that's so far the only thing that's been weird to me about this movie is, besides the fact that they've had to change composers like 3 times. I don't know what the hell that's all about. But the fact that they're having to sell creme so much is, that's not what I expected them to do. Alison in the comment brings up a good comment. From a woman's perspective, I will say that being told to your face your eyes are beautiful when you cry is legit scary, regardless of what he looks like. Yeah, that's
Think how much scarier it is if he doesn't look like that.
Yeah, like
it's way more terrifying.
I just think his looks, they've tried too hard with it, and they should have just stripped it back, and they should have just gone for a dangerous, scary-looking dude, and that's it.
Like there's so much you can do with just scars these days. Like you don't
even need to do that. Like, look at Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Yeah, he's just
a man.
Guy. But also, Jack Nicholson has like one of the most unique facial acting expressions ability.
So hire someone that has that ability.
Bill Skarsgård as Krem.
Oh yeah. Fucking hell.
You look, all the people.
Willem Dafoe as Krem.
Yes. I don't know why Andy has
Anthony Hopkins as Krem.
Anthony...
Jim Carrey as Krem. What?
Okay.
You just said face actors. I was picking a bunch of face
right,
actors.
but like you made him go your choice kept getting older and older, and I'm like, good lord.
But the thing is that kind of like, I don't know. It's like that part of acting seems to be less important.
Rhea in the chat said, was Supergirl captured at the end of the trailer when she lasers that guy? Well, you're just gonna have to find out on June 26th in a theater near you and on IMAX.
In her neck.
I mean, yeah, that's like some sort of poisoning. So, and he's face to face with Krem. So,
I just assumed that this was a kryptonite poisoning.
Well, we know she's dealing with, because at least the way that we understand Kryptonian physiology, she's probably hanging around red suns.
Yeah.
I mean, that is entirely taken from the comic book. So she's not at 100%. But one of the things we haven't mentioned, and I'm shocked we haven't, is we get an unbelievable heat vision shot in space, which is it was unreal. Like, I know Ben loves Supergirl, which had that when she was fighting Red Tornado when it was a CBS show for a hot minute. Cool. But getting to just see it's true.
No, I agree. No, you know what, Kyle? Not everything is about laughing at you. Sometimes it could be laughing with you, because I laugh with you because it's
that's
true.
My repressed trauma, Andy. Thank you for bringing that up. No, I think one thing before I have to go that I think kind of touches on my overall thoughts of this was what I love about Supergirl is the emotional gambit that character quite literally has lived through, which therefore we can see from the trailer. And this is not a criticism of the character, but like thinking about Superman, there's really like 2 emotional scenes. And so far, and this isn't a surprise, we know what Millie Alcock is capable of in the stuff she was in Game of Thrones. So this trailer to me completely sells that she understands the assignment, because Kara is not somebody who represses their emotions and has this ideal she's trying to live to. So her going through what we've seen from her in this, I guess we're just over or just under 5 minutes of footage is already more than what we saw from David Cornsweet. And that's not a criticism of him, because of course there's phenomenal sequences in there, but the emotional journey that Kara's going to go on, I'm so excited for this film.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different, different story.
And that's what and that's what we need right now, especially for this genre in Hollywood. We need superhero movies that actually are different from one another. Like, again, I don't want this to be, something that just feels like James Gunn's Superman movie. Like, no, because this is Supergirl. She's her own character with her own history, and I think they need to honor that. Kyle, I know you need to get going, so plug your stuff and then get the fuck out of my face, because
love you too.
I love you so much in some reality.
In some reality. Well, maybe the new 52 one. I'm just kidding. That reality sucked. Rebirth has been way better. Anyways, yes, I am the host of the Film Realist podcast. If you're watching this right now, next week's review is going to be of Super Mario Galaxy the movie, or however they've decided to associate random Mario words in a title for that. I can say that the Film Realist Critic Juniors are going to participate in that review because I can't not see that movie with my children, so they will be participating with me. If you are a Multiverse of Color fan, I recently released my advanced review of Born Again Season 2. Spoiler free, of course, because don't want to get any of those Disney embargo people mad at me. But the one thing I really want to plug is I'm going to be ramping up to episode 200. So that's 5 weeks away, the 200th episode of the Film Realist podcast, which will be a full review of the Darth Maul series. So I'm very excited for that. So please follow on all the podcast threads, specifically please YouTube, because we're only 12 away from that 500 subscriber mark, which would be amazing.
For people watching right now, if you click in the video description, I linked it to all of our plugs. If you just click on, you will get right direct to his channels. You can just, it's just takes you a second. It's so easy. Get him to 500. It's so easy.
And if you enjoyed our discussion, just before we started recording, I did record my very first reaction to the Supergirl footage, and that will be out tomorrow morning. So that'll be on all the socials. All the stuff's on the Film Realist bio site, which is in the YouTube channel. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. I love where DC is going, and I hope it only gets better.
I agreed. Talk to you soon, Kyle.
Nice.
Bye. Kick me out.
See ya.
See you, Ben.
See you. Okay, fuck you guys. You know what? Bye.
Yeah,
there we go. That was nice. Yeah, you know what, Ben? Maybe you should go subscribe to him. You since you're clearly besties now. No, but listen, when it comes to the Supergirl trailer, first of all, I just want to say because we just a few weeks ago had the Spider-Man The Brand New Day trailer. I just like normal marketing. Thank you, DC, for just keeping it like this. I don't need to see bits of clips being released every few hours the day before, and just stick to what you're doing, DC Studios. You don't have to go all extra like Marvel does. So because I was very nervous, because when they were the Supergirl trailer was coming, I'm like, oh god, are we going to spend all of this day before tomorrow just following whatever's going on with whoever's sharing clips or whatever. So I'm glad that this was just a normal release, and I appreciate it. Ben, are there some other things from the trailer that we haven't talked about that you want to discuss or highlight?
Off the top of my head, not really. I mean, I do find it interesting that you were blown away by the cinematography. Can we have a conversation? Because I'm not. As a cinematographer.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I'm just saying I just say what I like.
Cool. I just think the CGI stuff in space.
But
I've seen it.
But it's not finished yet. They're still in post.
I like the way they shot the scene where Supergirl talks about revenge, and you see Ruthie in the kind of desert. I thought that looked really cool. I thought that was different.
You mean this one?
That. Yeah, that, and then the reverse shot of Ruthie. She's that one. I think that's a really cool, almost like June style shot, and I really like that. I've just seen the space stuff so much that I'm never wowed by it anymore. I'm it's just the same. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the film. I think Supergirl is going to be great. I hope that there is some Superman. I know we're getting a couple more scenes. I heard about that as well from other people, so we know we're going to get some scenes. And I was a big fan of that film. Actually, a huge fan. And so yeah, really looking forward to everything to do with Supergirl. I don't think I have anything else to add to do with the trailer.
For me, I feel if there were not to be another trailer released after this, I'll be you know what, That's perfectly fine. I feel like this is.
I don't think they
And
should release another trailer. I think
well,
this
you
is
like obviously when they're gonna when tickets go on, so they're probably gonna do something.
and they spoil so much. To be honest, like I used to always follow trailers like a lot, right?
Mm.
Back in the day. I don't know, maybe 2017, 18, 19, But then now I'm just like, sometimes I even just miss the trailer. Like, it just happens sometimes.
Well, now there's
I have
just I
watched
mean,
the
like there's so
Spider-Man
much
trailer.
content. Well, yeah, because you don't like Marvel stuff. That's why you don't.
I do like, what is this bullshit? I like Marvel. No, but I started watching it and then I didn't finish watching it because I just don't care enough to watch the trailers.
But is it more so that you don't care, or that you just don't have enough time? Because like 2018, 2019, we had way more time to do, like to follow. I mean, even I miss things now. Like if I mean, unless I'm covering it professionally, whether it's at Screen Rant or Multiple Color, like I'm not just glued to my screen anymore. Like I got other shit to do.
Exactly. Me too. Yeah, it's the same. And also, it's like I prefer to watch it in the cinema anyway. So if I go, hopefully I see it.
Yeah.
And also spoilers. Like I'm kind of fed up of getting spoiled. So yeah.
Well, hopefully, like if we get anything more, it's probably maybe just a taste of the score, maybe. Because I'm really curious about what that score is going to be since they've changed composers 3 times now. And for for people who are watching this or listening to this, wherever you are, I'm not exaggerating. Like they literally had to change composers 3 times. Like they initially was the one from Game of Thrones who was going to compose it. Then they switched it to Junkie XL. Who me as a big Snyderverse fan, like I was like, whoa, now he gets to do Supergirl. I was really excited.
I need him for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, and like now they've changed it to some. I don't remember what her name was, but I'm like, what is going on with this movie? That
I don't think I don't think you guys.
Like I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
That's just like.
It's interesting because I haven't seen that many composers being changed for a film like this.
It's not normally public. I don't know. Like this stuff happens.
Well, it's public because it's on. Like when you go to so the reason people found out about all this is because no, it's on when you go to Supergirl's like movie website, like that Warner Bros. Has launched, they have like a whole press release of the synopsis of who produces and then it says composed by, and that has now been changed 3 times. So it wasn't something like someone caught something on IMDb. Like no, this is something that Warner Bros. And DC Studios are distributing. So, but yeah, I know we will see. Before we go, I just want to see if go through some of the comments. We can't go through all of them, obviously, but I love the fact you guys are here, and because this was a little impromptu, but I appreciate you coming through. Raven G996 asked before, think they're going to touch on the whole conquer Earth message from the elves in this movie. Well, we know that the guy who plays Zor-El has said in an interview that we are going to get a bigger explanation of what the House of El legacy really is and what they represent. Will we get all the answers? Probably not, but we're probably gonna get a bigger understanding, and it will bring more discussion. So I look forward to that. Nathan Bell going, Annie telling you guys off for speaking over him is hilarious. It is. Listen, like it's not easy being a moderator. It's not easy. It's not easy being like. But also like notice like how whenever they talked and they gave their thoughts, like I always make sure that every other host before me gets to share their thoughts on whatever we're discussing, and then I will go last, and I won't say anything. But then I get interrupted. So, but it's all good fun.
Because it's a conversation. Come on.
Sure. Nathan Bell also said, I obviously more of what the people of Krypton was like. We saw that in Supergirl. We learned about her mother and father. I love Krypto as a puppy. He's so cute. Oh my God, he's adorable. Nathan also said, do you have to wonder what Kryptonians' dog's biology is like? Like, is it like where people where it's near death? Would they do what Superman did during Death of Superman? Maybe. Also, I can't help but notice Kara didn't seem as scary or understand towards Clark. I feel like they have only met a few years ago, but of course she goes off world to drink on a red sun planet. Yeah, well that's the thing. Like,
yeah, I agree.
This could be like, depending on, like Ben said before, if she has just woken up, like if she was in the Phantom Zone and she wakes up, like obviously, like she's not gonna be super into the idea of like, oh, my baby cousin is already grown up and my world is gone. Like, that's the thing. Like, we get this is why I love the fact that Superman and Supergirl like are different. Like, I don't like when they're just saying that, Supergirl is just whatever of Superman. Like,
Supergirl.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, like she's so much more than that, and I think that people need to just remember it. Um,
I mean, the whole
and,
point of why she goes to space in the comic is to find herself and to get away from being in the shadow of her cousin, right? Like, and it's about finding herself, right? That, like, that's why she's going out. She's experiencing new things, drinking where she on Earth wouldn't be able to feel anything. So, yeah, it's just going to be about like her finding herself, and then I think with that you will have their relationship kind of become a stronger bond.
yeah, and that's why I'm like, for example, if like not saying that this movie would be a lead into Man of Tomorrow, but like if Kara were to be back in Man of Tomorrow next year, it would be interesting to see what the leap would be from whatever she's gone through in this movie to when we actually see her, like, yeah, with all these other characters, because now, since we last recorded, Jon Stewart is going to be in Man of Tomorrow. That's been confirmed. Hawkgirl is going to be back. Like, again, like, this is going to be a, quite a continuation to Superman. So I'm really curious to see like what her development from where we met her in 2025 to whenever we see her next after this year is going to look like. That's going to be very interesting to me. So, but we will see. We will see. But I think this the marketing for Supergirl continues to be amazing. Like they've started releasing now merchandise, Funko figures, and everything. And so I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Yes,
sorry
Ben.
to interrupt.
You did raise your fingers, so I accept it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like the posters. I think they're too similar to all the past posters. Like, give me actually like a cool poster. It's I don't know. The one they released earlier, it just looks like the other one, just with like a different.
With the coat when like she has like the sunglasses on and everything.
No, just the. I think the one you got in the background. Is that
this one? Oh yeah. I mean, that one is
but
kind of
like just no, but it's the the spray paint and the logo, the blue.
See, but I like the spray paint. I like the spray print. It's cool.
I know, but I've seen it. I want like a cool proper poster that's not just like.
We're gonna get so many posters between now and June. Like it's like we're literally 3 months away. Like we like there will be more. Like you worked in the cinema before. You know how often there are posters being changed and like how many new one comes in. Like it's.
I love that Superman poster of him and all of them like in the crowd in Metropolis. You remember from last year? So they're just standing in the crowd in Metropolis. It's a really cool poster. Really fun.
There was so many releases that I like the one I always loved the most was like when he's like the one that we got last like 2 Decembers ago, when he is just like flying up, like kind of like a reminiscent of Christopher Reeve's like Superman poses and whatnot. That's kind of like what I preferred. But like like I like the whole spray paint thing because like like I like graffiti and like so it's kind of cool like seeing like she's kind of like this little rebellious.
You see this like this?
Oh, that that
I
one.
Really like that. I think they're really cool. I prefer that than even just that. I just think it's like nice to see them.
Well, I think that we will. I think we will get there. Like it's because these posters would not release like 7 months in advance. Like these posters were released like in between. Again, like we gotta remember, Supergirl Day is coming up on April 18th. So
Superman Day as well.
No, it's called this year. It's actually called Supergirl Day. They're actually marketing it Supergirl Day.
I got an email from Warner Brothers saying.
I got an email too from Warner Brothers, and they're calling it Supergirl Day.
I got an email saying Superman Day as well. So.
You fucking little moron. I'm gonna bring this up because this is just ridiculous that you like Superman Day. It literally says in the email like.
Nah, but I got another email.
Well, I'm just saying what was seen on even the DC Comics website. So, but I'm glad that you're comfortable like making sure that Clark gets overshine his cousin who has her own movie coming out this year. But if
I prefer Supergirl than Superman. I'm honest about that.
yeah,
But
that doesn't sound like that to me.
that's just the email I got.
Yeah, but okay. What do you want me to say? Are you do you want me to say that my email is somehow like illegitimate because of whatever reason? If I'm good lord,
I don't mind about your email. It's just what I got the message. Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying in my email from Warner Bros. 2, it's all Supergirl Day. Like what the fuck is your problem? I can't do this sober, so we're gonna wrap it here. Ben, plug your stuff away for people who are also watching your channel. Let them know where they can find you, and
Yeah.
I don't know anything you got coming up.
Yeah, just subscribe to Ben's Take on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at the DC TV Show, Instagram at the DC TV Show, and on YouTube just posted my actual full Supergirl trailer breakdown. So go check that out. That was earlier today. Yeah, that's it for now. New video probably tomorrow.
There you go. You can find me at Anime Backed on all social media. I am the senior lead writer at Screen Rant, where I cover all things movie and TV entertainment.
And yeah.
James, if you're watching, there you go. Because that's to Ben and his friends, like that's my entire identity apparently. Like fuck me having a last name. Like I'm Andy from Screen Rant. That's all I am to them. So you can find me there. I have a lot of coverage on all things DC, Marvel, but all of Hollywood, of course. I'm also the editor-in-chief of Multiverse of Color, where you can find Ben and Kyle's stuff along with our amazing team of writers as we cover all things television, film, comics, and you name it. We're getting ready for CinemaCon very soon. Our own Keenan Walker will be there this year representing us, covering everything from Sony, Warner Brothers, Disney, Universal, Paramount, and much more. So look forward to that. And yeah, Showrunner Whisperer will be coming back whenever I get a moment. Like I am just not catching a break. So, but it's coming back. I'm determined to make it so.
You should talk to Eric Wallace and try and get that Amy Whammy TV show going. Huh? I think that would be.
I haven't talked to Eric in about 2 years. So I am. He has not checked his Twitter in a hot minute. I can confirm to that. I can confirm to you right now. He is like.
What's he been doing? Has he made any shows since?
I know. You tell me. Again, don't know.
Did you see Grant shot 2 films? That's pretty cool.
I did see.
That's why.
Trevor says, I hope you start doing Twitch so these kind of discussions can happen more.
It's the same thing as YouTube.
Exactly. But like, if maybe at some point we'll just hook up my Twitch to my stream bar, and maybe I just, whenever we do these crossovers and discussions, I will just go live there, and then, because I know we have like audiences are on different platforms, so it's preference, I guess. But yeah, in terms, in terms of DC Studios podcast, we're gonna try to be live more often. So if you want to subscribe, if you enjoy these discussions, we usually have a lot of different people on here. So check in the video description below, or if you're on the website, listen to the audio version. Check out all the links where you can subscribe and follow all the latest episodes of DC Studios podcast. Because we're gonna have a busy year. We have Supergirl, we're gonna have Clayface, and then Lanterns, and we will see what else comes. But everyone, thank you so much for tuning in on this crossover between Multiverse of Color and Ben's Take, and we will see you on the next one. If you like this video, like and subscribe, as the kids say it. See ya.